Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Do you know that good environmental stewardship is directly related to your health? Do you know that taking good care of the environment is directly related to your health, to the health of your community? There was a law that was being proposed many years ago. I think at this time, at that particular time, I think Kenny Anthony was the prime minister of the country at that time. And a law was being proposed where along anywhere somebody was farming near a river or a ravine area, they were to leave a buffer zone, an area that was not cultivated, so as to protect the quality of the water. And the farmers vehemently rejected that. People were very angry and they were saying a lot of things. I recall also when I was growing up, secondary school, there was a movement to protect the forest. And the forestry department used to forbid people from planting bananas in forested areas. And I remember that there were farmers that were very angry. And there was a man, the forest man was a guy named Vidal. And I've heard some people were talking about chopping Vidal with the cutlass if he tried to stop them from planting bananas in the forest reserves. Fast forward back many years, decades, these same areas that they were farming, the places that they wanted to invade to plant bananas, where are they now? Where are they now? The people that were trying to play like they were going to chop Vidal. And all of these efforts was to ensure good environmental stewardship to protect the water quality. Now, that move to leave the buffer zone between your farm and the river and the ravine had the same effect to protect the quality of the water. So what happens is when you spray the insecticide, your pesticide, whatever it is that you spray on your farm, if there is no buffer zone between your farm and the water on the surface water from the river or the ravine, that water, if there is a rain or something, it will be easy for the chemical that you spray to just get into the river or the ravine, affecting the fish, the crayfish and things like that. And remember that there are people who actually use these waters to swim and things like that. So it was a good plan. But nonetheless, the people fought against it. And I believe that out of the fear of political reprisal, of losing election or whatever, nothing. I think they trashed that plan. But I believe that we need in this country to bring that law and put it into effect, that if you have your farm close to the river, there is a small strip of land, a small strip. It could be like 1 meter or whatever. There need to be a small strip of land that you allow the grass to grow, so that in the case where chemicals slip from the farm, it will be in that zone, that buffer zone, and it will be trapped and it will not be able to get access to the surface water. We need to be more conscious and more concerned about the environment, because environmental stewardship fosters good health. It fosters healthy living. Because when we bend the law, or we allow people to do what they want as related to environmental stewardship, we do not protect the environment, we are harming ourselves. But watch this. These same people who do not want to follow the environmental laws in St. Lucia, when they go to New York, they have to comply. There are people in our people, when they were in St. Lucia, some of these people were throwing rubbish in the rivers all their tins, their sardine tins, their corned beef tins, their green bananas, their diapers and everything. They were just dropping those things in the river. But what happened when those people migrated to America, when they were in New York, overnight they had to change. They had to put aluminum cans in a special receptacle. They had to put their dashing or whatever pills in a separate thing. So in New York, they had to separate their garbage and to put them into appropriate receptacles. They overnight, from the time they land in New York, the same night they had to change. But when they are in St. Lucia, they do not want to follow the laws. They do not want to ensure. They are not interested in environmental stewardship. They criticize everything, and what happened is we just soften up and allow these people to break all laws that protect the environment. We need to enforce. We need to ensure that there is good and sound environmental stewardship in the place. And it is a very good thing that the water treatment areas that they're setting up now, they are setting them up where people do not have access to these waters. People are not farming around these areas, and it's very good because when you treat the water in the treatment plant, for the most part, the chlorination and ozonation, these things will destroy the bacteria in the water, but they do nothing about the insecticides that we have in the water. You remember in the times when people were making a lot of money in the bananas, they were very reckless and careless in terms of safety. I remember they were providing gloves and different clothing for them to protect them from the chemicals, and some of them would not use it. But right now, a lot of the cancers that we are seeing in the place, could it be related to the times in the past when the farmers were not using the protective equipment that they were supposed to use when they were using these chemicals? Environmental stewardship, again, is very important. We need to enforce these environmental laws. We need to protect ourselves and the people. We need to ensure good environmental stewardship in the country, because you do not enforce it, you cause people to get sick. And when the same people go to America and those places, the same night that they land there, they start enforcing good and sound environmental principles. Keep the fire burning.